Hi students, in the last session we came to know that what actually the feature and what are the types of features a little bit. Today we are going to talk about how to write a feature. This is very important. Why? Because it is considered as one of the very attractful article, and in its nature particularly, it has its own way to write. For that purpose, today I am going to talk about how to write a feature. The first and foremost, what actually we want, how to write the feature. There are a lot of confusions, whether it is in a format, news format, or inverted pyramid style, or it's an article, we should collect the information from the various sources. Yes, that is right. But when we talk about the news is a total different. It has its own style, but feature did not have its own style. Anyone can write in their own style. The first, how to write a feature, how to gather the information. The first thing is selection of a subject. This is most important aspects in feature writing. What kind of a topic I am going to choose? That is called as the selection of a subject. In a selection of a subject, the writer should know about what kind of a writing I am going to write. Whether he can take about historical place, whether he can choose the lifestyle, or he can choose the dresses of a particular person, or he can talk about the present fashion, or he is going to write about the present fast food culture. These kind of topics a person can choose to write a feature. This is one thing. After selection of a subject, the writer should collect materials. This is the second most important aspect in feature writing. Collection of what actually the collection of a material means. After selection a topic, the writer should collection of a material means he should gather the information from the available sources. If he choose a historical write-up, for example, he wants to write about the Hampi. For example, Hampi is an historical place. Hampi, there are various kinds of write-ups you can do. You can give, it may be the entertainment, or it may be the informative feature writing, something else. If you are going to write a historical feature, it is considered as an informative feature write-up. You should collect the information about the place of the Hampi, or if you want to write about a particular place in a Hampi, you want to gather the information. Likewise, you should have the collection of the materials. That is called as a collection of materials. The third major point is visiting places and meet the persons. This is very important. Sitting here and writing about the Hampi is not possible at all. For that purpose, if a writer wants to write about a particular place or about a particular person, he wants to visit, he should visit those places, collect the available materials, and meet the persons, whoever can give the information about those places. That is called as visiting places and collecting the materials and meet the persons. If you want to, in addition to this, if you want to write about the person's profile, you should meet those persons and you should interact with those persons and collect the information. That is called as the visiting places and meet the persons. So for getting the information from all the sources that requires in writing, when you visit those places, you can get more and more information about the places, and when you meet the persons, you can get the additional information from those persons. And the next, another most important is collecting the photographs. what actually the collecting the photographs, why photograph is needed in a feature. I told already, feature writing is attractiveness in its nature. For that purpose, the photographs is required. One photograph is better than 1,000 words. It explains each and everything about a place. If you want to tell about the joke falls, for one photograph, if one photograph is published in a newspaper, it tells how imaginary the joke falls is. For that purpose, if you are writing about the nature, if you are writing about the historical places, if you are writing about the person's profile, you should require the places. Whatever the flowery words you can use in feature writing, it never attracts. When you put a photograph, it tells about more than the 1,000 words. For that purpose, when you visit the place, you should collect the photographs also. For that purpose, photograph is essential in a feature writing. The next thing is writing the feature. After collecting each and every material, you have to start the writing. How to start the writer? The writer has its own style. There is no bonding anything in writing the features. You have to start with your own experiences, or you can start from the quotes, or you can start about your imaginary. Imaginary is better than, or the experience is better than quoting the words. Imaginary or experience is better than the quoting words. Likewise, you should start the writing, collecting. How to start? People are very confused while writing the feature, because how to start? The starting problem is we can see in these days people how the first and foremost thing is that how to attract. The attractiveness is very important in a feature writing. After collecting all these information, you should start by imaginary, or you should start by experiencing, or you can start with some quotes. These are all the essential ways in writing a feature. And after writing the feature, you should give the title, subtitles, and the leads. The majority people, you know that how the headlines are very important in a feature writing. For example, water everywhere, there is no drop of water to drink. This is a quote. This is a quote, or this is a lines from the Robert Burns. When you took these lines, it tells 1,000 words. What actually water everywhere means there is a lot of water, but there is no drop of water to drink. It means it tells about the flood. For that purpose, titles is very important in feature writing. And subtitles. Why the subtitles require? Because subtitles tells about what actually the next part contain. For that purpose, you should give subtitles in every paragraph or when it necessary. The next is lead. Lead is an essential part in the news as well as the feature writing, because the leads tells about the whole thing about the feature. For that purpose, the lead should contain the whole thing of what actually the feature is. This is the another part. And the next point is style of writing. What kind of a style you are going to start? What kind of your write-up have content? Everyone has their own style of writing. The imaginary people can write about their own way. The matured people can write in their own way. For that purpose, you should follow your own style of writing. And next, length of story. How much words? The length of a story tells about how much the story or the feature should contain. Always, the feature should not contain more than 600 to 650 words. If it is 1,000 words, it never called as a feature. It is considered as some other special stories. For that purpose, the length of the story should be limited as much as possible. When you put on a photograph, not much of a story required. You should not tell each and everything. The length should be very limited and as far as possible. You should limit. Next, revision. Why the revision is required? Because when you are revising your feature, you come to know that what are the things, what are the mistakes I have done, where the rewrite is necessary, and how to start, or in some feature writings we can see the starting problems, or whether you want to change the start point, or whether you want to conclude in such a manner. You can have, when you are rewriting, when you are reading, or when you are revisioning the feature, you have you got some other ideas while you are revising the feature. For that purpose, revising is very, very important. And at last, placement. This is very important thing. Whether you are sending it to the newspapers or whether you are sending it to the magazines, you should think it and place it. In this way, the feature should write. I hope you all understood the class about how to write the feature. Thank you. We can meet next time with a different topic. Thank you one and all.